So we did just watch a video by Bajan, was it? And we are going to watch another video as well from the same person. So going over to the same React camera again, this video is going to be about Classic Plus as well. But instead of talking about Classic Plus in general and like Classic WoW is dying, but Classic Plus could save it, we're talking about what could Classic Plus look like? Or what should it be?
Hello, everyone. Today, we're talking about Classic Plus.
What did it say at the start here? Sorry for the unedited video. I just wanted to share some thoughts that I had regarding Classic Plus. Okay, let me just see what you have to say. A
Today,
good yap
we're
sesh.
talking about Classic Plus. Everyone has their own idea of what it should be, but for me, it comes down to this: how do we keep Classic authentic but still fresh enough to last for years? So, from what we know, Blizzard hasn't officially announced.
I mean, this could be summarized in one sentence, huh? Not even that, like 5 words. Just copy Turtle WoW. Nice.
Classic Plus, but after Season of Discovery and recent surveys, it feels like something is definitely in the works. And for the community, it's divided. Some people want massive new systems, others want absolutely no changes. Me, I think the sweet spot is somewhere in the middle: small but meaningful talent tweaks, smoother rotations, and expanding the world of Azeroth. Not by creating new content, but by finishing what was already there. So let's talk about the state of Classic right now. So let's just be real for a second. Classic WoW is amazing, but as of right now, it has its issues, right? Some classes are gods, and others are jokes.
Yeah.
Once you've cleared the raids, there's not much left to do except farm gold or PvP. And leveling is incredible the first time, but it's really repetitive after your third or fourth character. So Classic Plus has to solve two major problems, in my opinion, which is number one, how do we make the gameplay loop more fun? And number two, how do we give players a new reason to explore Azeroth again?
And number 3, how do we get rid of botting? Number 4, how do we get rid of mage boosting? Number 5, how do we get rid of gold buying and gold selling? A lot of things they have to fix, but sure, gameplay-wise, this is good so far. And yeah, but also we need mage boosting to go. It has to go away. Like for Classic Plus, mage boosting is fine, anniversary, and for what this is, and like, we're playing Classic WoW now for the 6th time, so it makes sense why people just want to rush to max level and just do their max level content, but Classic Plus, mage boosting has to go. Botting, like Blizzard has to do a better job, and RMT as well, Blizzard once again has to do a better job. And to be fair, a lot of this could be fixed by simply giving out permanent bans for people buying gold. Because right now, you get a 2-week ban for buying gold, in which case, why would you not buy gold? You can work for 1 hour right now, buy 2000 gold, or farm 100 gold per hour for 20 hours. For most people, you value your time so much, you would rather work 1 hour, buy gold, and if you get banned, well, it's a 2-week vacation. Play something else and come back and buy gold again. It's like, it's such a no-brainer. A lot of people buy gold. I even made a poll about this. 33% of my audience in that poll buys gold, and I'm a huge gold making content creator. I help people make gold, and still they buy gold. I would argue a much bigger percentage than that pool actually buys gold, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it's as much as 50%. So half the player base. And I mean, based on that, you understand why Blizzard will never give out permanent bans, but it's how to easily fix it. Like, they can fix gold buying so easily by giving out more harsh punishments for doing so. It's like, when you don't have any punishment for it, like, why would people not buy gold?
And I'd like to take some time to discuss talent tweaks and class design as well. I think this is one of my biggest focus right now. I don't want Blizzard to reinvent the wheel, but I want them to polish it. Think about the talent trees in vanilla. A lot of them have entire sections that nobody ever touches. They're traps or just flat out useless. What if Blizzard cleaned up those?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if balanced druids just had enough mana regen to actually sustain damage in a raid without turning into like some sort of an arcane mage, or if a feral druid had energy smoothing so you weren't constantly praying to RNG, or you had to wear a level 42 blue helmet. Or, paladins. Retribution spec is a meme. But what if they made like seal twisting, it was built into the tree in a way that made it rewarding instead of clunky?
Yeah.
Or shamans. Enhancement is basically, auto attack and pray for wind fury. What if we had small talents that encourage using more abilities instead of just waiting for procs? And, just to name another class as well, warlocks, has huge mana problems, to make sustained DPS impossible almost. A slight
And huge
tweak to
threat.
efficiently could, make them far more engaging without breaking them as well. And there's many more classes and talent reworks you could do, but these are just some examples. And I think the most important part, none of these changes need to turn Classic into retail. It's not about giving everyone flashy rotations with 15 abilities. It's about taking the existing design and making it feel more complete, more satisfying.
This is where Season of Discovery took the wrong turn for me, by the way. They just added way too much at the end and you had too many buttons to press. Plus, everyone can suddenly do everything. When you have a rogues being a tank, warlocks being a tank, mages being a healer, and everyone being able to do AoE, everyone being able to stun, everyone being able to do like multi stuff and like single target, everyone being good as well, it just became very much retail-ish to me at the end. Or towards the end, even already in Phase 3 as well, and some classes was even unrecognizable to their classic counterpart. So to me, it just took a wrong turn at some point, but the season itself was great, and the idea was great, but it became too much.
We all know that classic combat is slow, and honestly, it's the part of its charm. But there's a difference between slow and boring. So, what if Classic Plus just nudged rotation towards being slightly more engaging? Like maybe warriors used more than 2 buttons in raid, maybe shadow priests have a little more variety than just mindflay spam, and maybe mages have some interesting cooldowns that matter outside of spamming frostbolt. Again, not retail level complexity, not 3 action bars full of abilities, just enough to keep you awake, to pull every to make every pull interesting while still keeping that classic pacing.
Yeah.
And there's another thing I want to talk about as well. It's about expanding instead of making new continents. And this is the part I'm really excited about. So Azeroth already has so many locked gates, empty zones, and mysterious areas that were never fully developed. Classic Plus could finally bring those to life as well. There's Karazhan Crypts. It's one of the creepiest unfinished areas in the game. It's perfect for a dungeon or a raid. And there's like Mount Tujal, it's already in the game files. You can explore it with exploits, but why not just turn it into real endgame content? And, there's others examples such as Gilneas and Emerald Dream. And it doesn't have to, you don't need to make giant new continents. Just expanding what we already have makes Azeroth feel fresh again. That means more quest lines, more dungeons, more world events tied to the lore. The key is here is you don't change Azeroth, you finish Azeroth. And authenticity versus change is a thing as well. So here's what I feel like it's a bit of tension, right? How much change is too much? So if Blizzard adds too much, we risk losing what makes classic, classic. But if they add too little, people will get bored and leave. So for me, the answer is keep the soul intact, keep the grind, keep the community, the slower pace, but fix the dead talent, polish the rotations, and add new content inside Azeroth. I think that's the balance we're looking for. And I'd like to talk about the lead angle as well. So now there's another layer to this. Blizzard recently went off their private server called Turtle WoW for doing their own version of Classic Plus. this shows us two things. That Blizzard definitely wants their own Classic Plus idea, and there's clearly a demand of it. Otherwise, these servers wouldn't even exist. So maybe Blizzard is finally ready to deliver their own official version, and honestly, that could be a good thing, as long as they respect the spirit of Vanilla WoW. And there's also a lot of community questions. So I would like to throw some questions at you. And this is, should Blizzard polish talents, or should they keep them frozen like they were in 2004? Should new zones open up in Azeroth, or should we never expand beyond that vanilla we launched with? Would you accept new dungeons and raids if they were built in, content areas like Karazhan Crypts or Gilneas? And finally, what makes more important, keeping Classic authentic or keeping it alive? For me, Classic Plus should be about refinement, not reinvention. Talent tweaks, smooth rotations, and finishing Azeroth forgotten corners. That is all it needs to become to be the best version of Classic, in my opinion. So I'd like to hear your vision of what Classic Plus, could be, or what you want it to be. So drop a comment below, hit that like if you enjoyed this discussion. Subscribe.
I'm drowning in the game, dude.
And by the way, I'm live at
That is such a bad sound.
Bajan2k, 5 days a week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in.
Dude, that sound is so insane, by the way. I'm just not going to turn it off. If I have to suffer through this, you have to do it as well. Yeah. If I have to suffer through that, you have to as well. You are so welcome, by the way. But also, good video. I feel like it echoes a lot of my thoughts as well on Classic Plus. And, yeah, I feel like it echoes a lot of my thoughts on Classic Plus. I feel the same way on a lot of them. And to answer the question he basically gave at the end, just copy Turtle WoW. They already have the blueprint. Literally, they have the blueprint. I mean, not copy and paste, because that would kind of be a bad form by Blizzard as well. And they would never. Surely, they would never, right? But just use the same ideas. You already have the zones. You know which zones people are resonating with. Use the same ones, but you do it in your own way. Kind of. But also, don't do it too much in your way, because Turtle WoW way is better than Blizzard way. So, yeah, copy and paste. You have the framework. Just fill it in. It's so easy at this point. It would have been way harder for Blizzard, by the way, if they didn't have any examples to go by. In this case, they have Turtle WoW as an example, they have Bronzebeard as an example, they have Ascension as an example, they have Epoch as an example. They have so many examples to build a Classic Plus out of at this point. And they also have a bunch of YouTube videos, not just by me, but by people like Ebonheart, who has been deep diving into old Vanilla WoW lore and old Vanilla WoW unfinished content. Even Willy, also, like a big YouTuber in Classic WoW, he has made a bunch of videos on unfinished zones and unfinished projects and unfinished things in Vanilla WoW, like things we never got to see. Use those ideas and actually expand on them. It's really not hard. Blizzard tried to copy the Turtles' tent with their shitty sleeping bags on sod. They did. Yeah, they did. I didn't really like those as much as tents for sure, but it was a cool idea, right? Sleeping bag was peak. Shame that was the peak. I mean, the sleeping bag was nice, but I feel like tents are better. So when that was the peak and it's once again worse than the idea they were copying, yeah, that says a lot, right? It is what it is, right? I need a tank on the Naughty server, please. I mean, hey, level 1, bro. Hell yeah, dude. On the Reptile server, yeah. But yeah, very good video once again. I feel like we're probably going to get some news on Classic Plus at some point. The only question is when. We already had a tweet by the Classic WoW dev team, and based on a reply by Agwen, seems like they're going dark for quite a while, unless people keep pushing. Because the only reason they made the tweet they made was because people were talking negatively about them. They're doing damage control. So the more negative publicity they get, the more they have to speak. I kind of want to say Blizzard's plan is probably to stay silent until BlizzCon next year. Unless we force them to actually talk. I'm just saying.